A country's GDP is skyrocketing at an astounding 26.6%, while others struggle to keep up. Can you guess which nations are racing ahead in the global economy? In this video, the 5 fastest growing economies in the world, you'll discover mind-blowing growth figures and intriguing economic insights that may change everything you know about emerging markets. You'll be shocked at who's leading in inflation, international trade, and business expansion as they reshape their economies at lightning speed. Some countries are rewriting the playbook on global development, backed by impressive GDP growth rates and population booms. These nations are defying the odds to rise as economic powerhouses. According to the International Monetary Fund, IMF, and other economic analysts, as of November 2024, these countries are at the forefront of unprecedented global growth. But which one is ahead of the pack? Could it be an emerging market, a developing country, or an underdog climbing the ranks? Stay tuned as we explore the world's fastest-growing economies, packed with insights into GDP, economic development, and global trends. Make sure to watch to the end. You won't want to miss this. Let's dive in. Number 5. Philippines. The Philippines takes the 5th spot, with an expected GDP growth rate of about 6.0%, according to Statistics Times. This Southeast Asian nation has emerged as a rising star, fueled by strong domestic consumption and a growing services sector. But what's driving this growth? Let's break it down. The Philippines has a population of over 115 million, which presents both a challenge and an opportunity. Its young and dynamic workforce is boosting sectors like IT and business process outsourcing, BPO, to new heights. In fact, the Philippines is one of the world's top BPO hubs, contributing billions to its economy each year. However, inflation is a persistent hurdle. Rising prices are affecting consumers, but surprisingly, domestic consumption continues to rise. The Filipino spirit of resilience includes a passion for spending, with retail and services sectors thriving. International trade and remittances from overseas Filipino workers also play a critical role in economic development, with remittances accounting for nearly 10% of the country's GDP last year, serving as a stabilizing force against global economic uncertainties. The outlook remains positive, with expected business growth in real estate and tourism. The latter, in particular, has made a strong comeback, with tourists flocking to explore the Philippines' beautiful islands and rich culture. What makes this growth even more remarkable is that it's occurring despite global challenges. The Philippines proves it's more than just a tropical paradise. It's a lesson in economic resilience and opportunity. Number 4. Bangladesh. Bangladesh secures the 4th position, with a projected growth rate of about 6.0%, according to Statistics Times. But don't let this modest figure fool you. Bangladesh has quietly become an economic powerhouse, sowing its success one stitch at a time. Home to over 170 million people, Bangladesh has one of the highest population densities in the world. While that might sound like a logistical nightmare, it's actually a major factor behind its thriving manufacturing sector. The country is a global leader in textiles and garments, second only to China in apparel exports. Those affordable shirts and jeans you love? They might just be made in Bangladesh. The manufacturing sector contributes more than 13% to the country's GDP, with the garment industry alone employing around 4 million workers, making it the country's largest export sector. However, inflation has been an ongoing issue, hitting over 7% earlier this year. Despite this, economic projections remain optimistic, driven by growth in agriculture, pharmaceuticals, and ICT. Bangladesh's demographic advantage, with a large working-age population, has been key to its success. Together with government incentives and foreign investments, this is a recipe for continued business expansion. Bangladesh's story is one of resilience, showing that a small country with big ambitions can make waves globally. Whether it's textiles or tackling inflation, Bangladesh is stitching together a bright future. Number 3. Libya. Libya takes third place, with a projected growth rate of over 7%, according to Wikipedia. And no, this isn't just luck. Libya is harnessing its greatest natural asset, oil. After years of political instability, the country's recovery in oil production and exports is driving its remarkable resurgence. Libya holds Africa's largest proven oil reserves, making it a critical player in international trade. Oil accounts for over 60% of Libya's GDP and nearly all of its exports, making it the foundation of its economy. In 2024, increased stability in production is expected to propel business growth and government revenue, which is crucial for rebuilding the country's infrastructure. However, Libya continues to face inflation, with volatile oil prices and political instability affecting purchasing power. Despite this, economic forecasts remain positive, with foreign investment flowing in and efforts to diversify the economy gaining momentum. Libya's population of about 7 million is relatively small, but its location near Europe gives it a unique advantage in international trade. With renewed oil agreements and infrastructure upgrades, Libya is positioning itself as a regional powerhouse. Libya's story is one of resilience, showing that even after setbacks, a nation can bounce back with the right mix of resources, strategy, and a little bit of luck. After all, when oil is your lifeline, your economic recovery is more than just fuel for thought. Number 2. Rwanda. Rwanda ranks second with an impressive projected growth rate of over 7%, according to Wikipedia. This small, landlocked country in East Africa proves that size doesn't determine success strategy and vision do. Rwanda's population of around 13 million is youthful and rapidly growing, providing a strong demographic base that drives domestic consumption and workforce expansion. This vibrant human capital is one of the key factors behind Rwanda's economic growth. The country has heavily invested in technology, infrastructure, and services, earning it the nickname the Singapore of Africa. Rwanda has made headlines for its ambitious digital initiatives, including the rollout of 4G nationwide and the use of drones for medical supply deliveries. Infrastructure projects like the Kigali Innovation City are cementing Rwanda's status as a hub for international trade and investment. While inflation has been hovering around 8%, economic forecasts are highly optimistic. The government's Vision 2050 plan aims to transform Rwanda into a high-income nation, focusing on tourism, which contributes over $400 million annually to GDP. Rwanda's story is one of how strategic investments in technology, services, and innovation can reshape a nation's future. Any country deploying drones for good is surely soaring to new economic heights. Number 1. Niger. Niger holds the first spot with a projected growth rate of over 7%, according to Wikipedia. This West African country may not make headlines every day, but its economy is rising quickly, thanks to mining and agriculture. Niger boasts some of the world's largest uranium deposits, which fuel global nuclear energy production. Recent investments in the mining sector have boosted exports, positioning Niger as a player in international trade. And the gold sector is starting to shine too, attracting foreign investment and driving business growth. Agriculture, which employs over 80% of Niger's population of roughly 27 million, is also undergoing a revolution. Improved irrigation and modern farming techniques have led to increased crop yields, making agriculture a major contributor to GDP. However, inflation, driven by rising food prices, remains a challenge. Despite this, economic forecasts remain positive, predicting continued growth and an improved standard of living. Niger's young population, with nearly 50% under the age of 15, presents both a challenge and an opportunity. In conclusion, the world is experiencing remarkable economic growth, with some countries defying expectations to achieve record-breaking GDP figures. From Asia to Africa, nations are diversifying their economies, attracting investment and investing heavily in infrastructure and technology. Whether it's oil in Libya, textiles in Bangladesh, these economies are reshaping the future of global trade. Stay tuned to see how these countries continue to transform. And remember, the future of the world's fastest growing economies is just getting started.